We grow up believing every story continues, that every ending is just a pause, that every loss is temporary, that every goodbye is followed by return. But life doesn't always agree. Some pages don't reopen, some doors don't stay unlocked, some chapters don't continue. They end, quietly, suddenly, without warning. And you're left there, staring at the silence, trying to rewrite what is already gone, trying to hold on to something that no longer responds. At first, you don't accept it. You replay moments. You search for meaning. You ask yourself what went wrong, what could have changed, what you missed. But some endings don't come with answers. They just arrive and stay. Not all stories are meant to continue. Some are meant to teach, to shape you, to break something open inside you that needed to break, even if it hurts, especially if it hurts. Because pain is often how truth speaks, and the truth is not always kind. Sometimes it says, this is done, this is over, this is where it ends, and you don't get a rewrite. No correction, no second draft. Just acceptance and silence. That silence is heavy because you keep expecting more. Another message, another moment, another chance to fix what was lost. But life doesn't always return what it takes, and that's the hardest lesson. Not every connection was built to last. Not every bond was meant to survive time. Not every story was written for forever. Some are temporary, some are lessons, some are echoes of who you used to be. And holding on too long can stop you from moving forward. Because when you refuse to close a chapter that life already ended, you stay stuck between pages, neither here nor there. Not moving forward, not truly letting go, just existing in repetition. But healing begins where acceptance starts. When you stop asking why and start accepting what is. It ended. It happened. It is over. And that's not failure. That's life. Because endings are not always losses. Sometimes they are releases from versions of yourself you've outgrown, from spaces that no longer fit, from stories that served their purpose, even if you didn't realize it yet. Some stories were never meant to continue. They were meant to change you, to show you something, to leave a mark without staying forever. And once they do, they leave. That's their nature, so you learn, slowly, painfully, quietly. You learn to stop chasing what is already left. You learn to stop reopening what is already closed. You learn to sit with silence without turning it into regret. Because not everything unfinished needs to be completed. Not everything lost needs to be found again. Some things are meant to stay in memory, not in reality. And that doesn't make them less real. It just makes them complete in a different way. So you carry them differently now, not as weight, but as understanding, not as wounds, but as experience. And one day, you stop trying to rewrite it. You stop trying to extend it. You stop waiting for it to continue, because you finally understand. Not all stories have another chapter. Some end, so others can begin. And when you finally accept that, you don't just lose something. You also find yourself again, in the space it left behind, in the silence it created, in the strength you didn't know you had, and you move forward, not forgetting, not erasing, but continuing, with everything it taught you quietly guiding your steps. Because even though it ended, it still shaped you. And that is enough. That is what some stories are for. Not forever, but for becoming.